Welcome to the best way to wash your pillows.
It is great to be here, and I am really excited to get into this today.
Me too. So we need to start today by having a very frank and slightly uncomfortable conversation about what actually happens when you turn off the lights and go to sleep.
Yeah, it's a reality most people completely ignore.
Right. I mean, most people think of their bed as this static, pristine sanctuary. You make it in the morning, it looks perfect, and it just waits for you.
Exactly. But when you really look at the biology of human rest, well, your bed is not static at all.
Not at all. And specifically, that little rectangle of fabric right under your head.
Oh, absolutely. It is an intensely dynamic environment. It's basically a biological sponge.
A biological sponge. That sounds so incredibly gross.
I know it does, but think about it. Every single night you are pressing your scalp and your neck into this localized area for 6 to 8 hours.
Right. And our heads are pretty oily, right?
Very oily. The human head and neck possess one of the highest concentrations of sebaceous glands on the entire body.
Wow. Okay, so what are those glands actually doing while we sleep?
They are continuously pumping out sebum, which is it's a lipid-rich, oily substance designed to waterproof and protect our skin and hair.
So we're basically just leaking oil all night.
Mm-hmm.
And we're not just dealing with the oils, right? I mean, we are essentially highly functioning space heaters.
Yes, we're constantly thermoregulating. To maintain our core temperature, we release moisture.
Even if you don't wake up sweating, right? Like just normal sleeping.
Exactly. Even if you aren't waking up from night sweats, your body is continuously engaging in what's called insensible perspiration.
Insensible perspiration, so you don't even feel it happening.
Right. You're exhaling water vapor, and your skin is releasing sweat, which contains water and salts and urea.
Gross. Urea. Okay.
Yeah.
And then there's the dead skin on top of that.
Tons of it. The human body sheds roughly 500 million dead skin cells every single day.
500 million. Just flaking off.
Yes, and a massive portion of that is lost due to the mechanical friction of just rolling around in bed.
Wow. And to be entirely realistic about human sleep, there's almost always a degree of saliva or drool escaping over the course of the night, too.
Definitely. It happens to almost everyone.
So you take all of that, the sebum, the urea, the salts, the dead skin, the saliva, and you press it into a porous fabric.
And then you apply 98 degrees of body heat to it.
Right. And you just leave it there night after night, week after week.
And that combination of biological material heat and oxygen creates the perfect storm for oxidation.
Oxidation. So that's what causes the terrible color.
Exactly. The lipids break down the protein's denature, and the result is that stubborn, embarrassing yellow discoloration that slowly maps itself across your pillow.
Man, I always thought that yellowing was just a sign that a pillow was old. Like, you know how paper yellows over time?
A lot of people think that.
Yeah.
But no, it's the visual evidence of your biological existence oxidizing right into the fibers.
That is deeply unsettling.
Mm.
But it makes it so much more urgent to actually clean the thing, rather than just throwing a second pillowcase over it to hide the shame.
Right, because hiding it doesn't solve the underlying chemistry, which is actually the entire point of what we are looking at today.
Yes, exactly, because we're going to walk you through a step-by-step masterclass on rescuing your pillows from yellow, dingy nightmares and turning them back into fresh, supportive clouds.
And our source material for this deep dive is incredibly practical. We are drawing from the fantastic methods shared by the Clean That Up YouTube channel.
I love that channel. They make everything seem so approachable.
They really do. And I want to set a very positive tone here. Because while the buildup we just described sounds absolutely disgusting, the cleaning process is incredibly satisfying.
It really is. It's like watching magic happen.
And the best part is it's completely achievable using everyday household items. You don't need industrial chemicals.
Right. You don't need a hazmat suit. But before we just start chucking things into the laundry room, we need a strategy. Okay, let's unpack this. Treating all pillows the same is like treating a delicate silk shirt the same as dirty jeans.
That is a perfect analogy. You absolutely have to understand the specific architecture of what you are about to clean.
So what is the absolute first rule of pillow washing?
The crucial first step is checking the tag. It is the non-negotiable blueprint for the material science of that specific object.
Which sounds easy in theory, right? Check the tag. But in practice, you look at a pillow tag, and the English text has completely rubbed off from years of friction.
Yeah, you're usually just left staring at 5 tiny cryptic symbols.
Exactly. A square with a circle inside it, a triangle with 2 diagonal lines. It feels like you need a degree in cryptography just to do laundry.
The iconography of laundry symbols was designed to be this universal language. But because we don't encounter the complex ones daily, our brains simply don't retain the dictionary for them.
Well, thankfully, there is a brilliant modern hack from our source material for this. If you have an iPhone, you don't need to guess anymore.
Oh, this is such a great tip. The intersection of everyday chores and modern tech.
Yeah, it's amazing. If the tag only has cryptic symbols, just take a picture of the tag with your iPhone.
And then what? You just look at the photo, right?
Yeah, you open the photo in your camera roll, and you literally just swipe up on the image. Apple's Visual Lookup instantly translates the washing instructions into plain English.
It recognizes the context and just populates a menu. It tells you machine wash, cold, or do not bleach right there on the screen.
It completely removes the guesswork. It
Yeah.
is so cool. But I have to ask, what if we ignore the tag? What's the worst that could happen?
Well, the source delivers a very stern warning to answer that exact question,
Yeah.
specifically regarding memory foam.
Oh, right. The memory foam warning.
Yes, memory foam can never go in the washing machine, under any circumstances.
But wait, why not? I mean, it's basically a sponge, right? Sponges go in water.
It is a sponge, but it's a highly engineered viscoelastic polyurethane foam, and it relies on a very delicate open cell structure.
Okay, so it has little pockets of air inside it.
Exactly. And when you submerge that in a washing machine, two destructive forces converge. First, the foam acts like a super sponge and pulls in a massive amount of water weight.
So it becomes incredibly heavy.
Very heavy. And second, you have the violent agitation of the washing machine drum.
Oh, right. The spinning and the pulling.
The mechanical reality is that the agitation and the massive water saturation will literally break down the material. The shearing forces cause the foam bonds to snap.
So it literally rips itself apart.
It does. The foam will crumble and disintegrate. You'll pull out a ruined, lumpy mess. You're basically turning an expensive pillow into a bag of wet croutons.
That is a very expensive mistake.
Yeah.
So what is the solution for the memory foam people?
Well, if it's memory foam, you can machine wash the zip cover. The outer casing usually handles the wash fine, but the actual insert is strictly spot clean only.
Spot clean only. Got it. We'll get into exactly how to spot clean that foam shortly. But first, what about standard pillows? The down or the polyester ones?
For standard pillows, throwing a stained pillow straight into the wash without pre-treating is a total rookie mistake.
Really? You can't just toss it in.
No, you really can't. The washing machine just pushes soapy water around. It doesn't actually dismantle the structure of the stain.
Ah, I see. So the stains, like the sweat and the body oils, need to be broken down chemically first.
Precisely. Which brings us to the first pre-treatment strategy highlighted in the source. Standard 3% hydrogen peroxide.
Oh, just the cheap stuff in the brown bottle from the drugstore.
That's the one. It is an incredibly potent tool.
So how do we actually apply it?
Yeah.
The method they show is surprisingly aggressive.
Yeah, you don't just mist it lightly. You take a spray bottle of the peroxide and you spray the entire pillow heavily until it's damp.
You really soak those yellow spots, right?
Yeah.
But why does that actually work? What is the science behind it?
Well, hydrogen peroxide specifically attacks the protein and oil compounds that cause those stubborn yellow rings. It acts as an oxidizing agent.
It breaks down the molecules that cause the color.
Exactly. It violently releases an extra oxygen molecule and steals electrons from the stain. It dismantles the stain's architecture.
Okay, so you spray it heavily,
Mm.
and then you scrub it right.
Yes, but gently. Use a soft bristle brush to gently agitate the nasty spots, just to make sure the liquid penetrates the woven threads.
And then comes the hardest part for most people, the waiting.
The dwell time is mandatory. You have to let it sit for a full 30 minutes to let the chemical reaction do its job.
30 minutes.
Yeah.
If you throw it in the wash after 5 minutes, you just wash the peroxide away before it finishes working.
Exactly. You interrupt the chemical reaction. Now, the alternative to peroxide is the second option, a laundry stain remover.
Right, the Oxy route, like a commercial oxygen-based spray, such as Tide Ultra Oxy.
Right, and for this one, you spray liberally and scrub quickly.
So what's the difference between the two? Why pick the Oxy spray?
What's fascinating here is that the oxygen bleach is specifically designed with surfactants. It specifically targets deep yellowing to return the pillow to a bright, crisp white.
Oh, so it has extra ingredients that act like microscopic grappling hooks to pull the grease out of the cotton.
That's a perfect way to visualize it. It grabs the hydrophobic lipids and suspends them so the water can wash them away.
Okay, before we move on to the actual washing machine, I have a question about pillows that are just severely far gone. At what point is a pillow just too far gone to save?
That's a very pragmatic question, and the source actually has a clear rule for this.
Really? What's the diagnostic rule?
If a pillow is incredibly stained flat and roughly 10 years old, it has likely lost its structural integrity.
10 years. I can't imagine sleeping on the same pillow for a decade.
It happens more often than you think,
Mhm.
but at that age, the internal fibers are just crushed. It isn't doing your neck any favors at all.
So even if you clean the outside, the inside is ruined.
Yes, save your effort and just replace it at that point.
That makes total sense. Now, if you're focused on getting your home deeply clean, don't forget your floors. Be sure to visit Keendick Carpet Cleaning on Google, because it doesn't make sense to have perfectly clean pillows in a deeply dusty room.
Exactly. It is all connected. You have to think of the entire environment.
Okay, so let's move to the main event. We have pre-treated the standard pillows. They sat for 30 minutes. Now they go in the washing machine.
But again, there is a specific mechanical balancing act here. You must always wash 2 pillows at a time.
Always two, never one.
Never just one. You place one on each side of the drum, left and right.
Why does that matter so much?
It matters massively for the machine's health. Think about the high-speed spin cycle. A saturated pillow is incredibly heavy.
Right, it's full of water, like a 10-pound water balloon.
Exactly. If you have an unbalanced drum during the spin cycle, that heavy mass pulls violently to one side, it can literally damage the washer's suspension.
Oh man, I've heard that banging noise before. It sounds like the machine is going to explode.
And modern machines will just abort the spin cycle if they detect that vibration, which leaves your pillows soaking wet.
So 2 pillows equalizes the weight perfectly. Got it. Now what about detergent?
The methodology is highly specific here. You need to use a detergent that is free and clear of dyes and fragrances.
This makes total sense. You're quite literally pressing your face into this fabric for 8 hours a night. You don't want harsh perfumes irritating your skin or causing contact dermatitis.
Exactly. The pre-treatment did the heavy lifting on the stains. The detergent just lifts the suspended dirt away.
Okay, so what settings do we use on the machine?
You want to use the bulky setting, or the normal setting if bulky isn't available, and use cold water per the typical tag instructions.
Just let the machine do the heavy lifting from there.
Right. But meanwhile, while those standard pillows are washing, we have to rescue the memory foam.
Ah, yes, the memory foam. The core that we couldn't put in the washer.
Yeah.
How do we spot clean it safely?
It takes a specific recipe. You take a spray bottle with water and add a tiny bit of dish soap.
And the source specifically prefers Blue Dawn dish soap, right?
Yes, Blue Dawn is highly effective. It has a concentrated blend of surfactants that breaks down heavy oils without damaging delicate materials.
Okay, so I've got my soapy water. Do I just spray the foam directly where the stain is?
No, absolutely not. There is a strict do not drench rule. You must never spray the foam directly.
Wait, why? I'm just trying to clean the spot.
Because of the capillary action of the open cells, if you spray the foam, the water is instantly pulled deep into the core of the pillow.
It just drinks it all in?
Yes, and once moisture is trapped deep inside that dense foam, it is nearly impossible to dry out.
Oh no. And trapped moisture plus body heat means mold.
Exactly. You will literally grow mold and mildew inside your pillow.
Okay, so spraying directly is a disaster. What is the actual technique then?
You use indirect transfer. You spray the soapy water onto a clean towel, just a little bit to make it lightly damp.
Okay, so the towel is damp, not soaking.
Right. And then you gently dab the dirty area on the foam. You just press the soapy moisture onto the surface stain.
So no aggressive scrubbing, just dabbing.
Just dabbing. Then you use a clean, damp microfiber towel to perform a micro rinse.
So you press the damp microfiber over the soapy spot to lift out the soap and the dirt.
Yes, the microfiber acts like a localized vacuum, pulling the moisture and grime back out of the foam.
That is incredibly surgical. And how do we dry it out to make sure zero moisture remains?
You use the sun-dry method. You put the foam pillow outside in the sun to dry quickly and air out completely.
Oh, that's brilliant. Direct sunlight.
Yes, it ensures it stays fresh. And the UV radiation is actually a phenomenal natural biocide. It sanitizes the foam naturally.
I love that. Using the solar system to finish your laundry.
Oh.
Okay, so let's head back to the washing machine. The cycle for the standard pillows is done. Do we just chuck them in the dryer?
Definitely not. You have to perform the post-wash inspection. This is a crucial intermission. Do not skip this step.
You pull the standard pillows out of the washer and closely inspect the spots where the stains used to be before they ever see the inside of a dryer.
Exactly. And the reason for this is the danger of the dryer. If we connect this to the bigger picture of laundry science, the heat of a dryer acts as a powerful catalyst.
Oh no. What does the heat do?
If there is any residual biological matter left, The intense heat will permanently bake the stain right into the fibers.
It sets the stain forever.
Yes, it chemically fuses the proteins to the fabric. You will never get it out after that.
So you inspect it. What is the rescue plan if you still see a faint yellow ring?
It requires patience. If spots remain, you retreat the spot with your peroxide or oxy spray, let it sit again, and then rewash the pillow.
Okay, but what if it's the worst case scenario? You washed it twice, and the stain absolutely won't budge. It is fighting for its life. Is there a nuclear option?
There is a nuclear option for those incredibly stubborn stains. The source suggests a heavy-duty deep soak.
A deep soak? How does that work?
You mix OxyClean powder and warm water in a large tote bin or a clean bathtub, and you fully submerge the stubborn pillow in that mixture.
Fully submerged. For how long?
For 3 to 4 solid hours.
3 to 4 hours. Wow. That is a massive escalation from 30 minutes.
It is. But that extended dwell time allows the concentrated oxygen solution to slowly and methodically draw out the deepest yellowing from the core fibers.
And after 4 hours, you take it out and run it through the wash one more time to rinse it?
Exactly, followed by another run through the wash. And at that point, it will be pristine.
Okay, so assuming we have passed the visual inspection, the pillows are finally ready for the art of drying.
And drying is an art. It requires mechanical intervention. You cannot just throw a wet clump of fibers into the dryer.
Right, you have to do the pre-fluff.
Yes, you must manually fluff the wet pillow before it enters the dryer.
Because if you don't, the internal material will just dry exactly as it sits right. It'll turn into a lumpy, clumpy, uneven mess.
Exactly. You have to pull and massage the wet material to tear the wet clumps apart. But manual fluffing isn't enough on its own.
Because it's going to clump back together as it tumbles, so you need agitators.
Right. You use dryer balls to continuously punch the pillow back into shape as it tumbles. They physically keep the fibers separated.
Now, what if you don't have those fancy wool dryer balls? I actually love this hose tack from the source. Don't have dryer balls. The source says clean tennis balls work just perfectly.
It is a brilliant improvised solution. 3 or 4 clean tennis balls replicate the kinetic energy transfer perfectly.
Just make sure they are actually clean tennis balls.
Ah,
You don't want green fuzz on your white pillows.
that would be a disaster.
Okay, so the tennis balls are in. What dryer settings are we using?
Yeah.
Because I just want to blast it on high heat to get it over with.
You absolutely cannot do that. You must use the bulky, delicate, or normal setting on low to no heat.
Low heat. On a soaking wet pillow, that is going to take hours.
It will take longer, yes. It requires patience. But high heat will permanently damage the pillow's internal fibers.
Wait, really? The heat melts it?
Yes. Most pillows use synthetic polyester fiber fill, which is basically plastic. High thermal energy exceeds the tolerance of those microscopic plastic strands, and they melt and fuse together.
Wow. So high heat destroys the structural loft forever. Low and slow it is. And then finally the timer goes off.
And we get the reveal. The visual payoff is incredible.
It really is. In the source material, you see these dirty yellowed pillows coming out looking absolutely brand new and perfectly clean.
They are bright, crisp white. They look like they just came off a department store shelf. It's so satisfying. But honestly, nobody wants to do a 4-hour bathtub soak every weekend. How do we future-proof this pillow strategy?
The expert from the source lays out 3 cardinal rules for keeping pillows cleaner longer. It's essentially a barrier system.
Okay, let's go through the rules. Number 1, weekly maintenance.
Right. Wash your decorative pillowcase once a week with the rest of your bedding to stop immediate oil transfer.
Just regular weekly laundry. That makes sense. But the oils still seep through standard cotton over time, right?
They do. Which is why rule number 2 is the real game changer. Invest in pillow protectors.
I feel like a lot of people skip this step. They just use a pillowcase.
They do, but it's crucial. They are cheaply available online, and it creates a specialized layering system.
How does the layering work?
You go pillow, then the specialized protector, which zips completely shut over it, then the standard pillowcase on the outside.
Oh, so it creates 2 robust layers of defense against drool and grease.
Exactly. The protector halts the migration of the moisture. The gross biological stuff never actually reaches the core pillow. That is genius. And then rule number 3 is the schedule.
Yes, commit to washing your actual pillows every 3 to 6 months.
Quarterly deep cleans.
This raises an important point about habit. Doing this quarterly prevents the massive deep buildup of grime, meaning you won't have to fight as hard to clean it next time.
That makes total sense. Routine maintenance is way easier than extreme restoration.
Exactly. You won't need to do the 4-hour soak if you just wash them every season.
Amazing. Well, this has been incredibly enlightening.
It really is a necessary shift in how we view our bedding. And now that you know how much biological material builds up in the pillows we sleep on every single night, take a slow look around your bedroom.
Oh boy, I see where this is going.
What else are you using daily, like your mattress itself, or heavy winter comforters that might be silently harboring the exact same buildup, just waiting for its own deep clean?
Oh man, the mattress. I don't even want to conceptualize the biology inside an unprotected mattress after 10 years.
It is definitely something to mull over. The underlying principles we discussed today apply everywhere.
That is a terrifying
Yeah.
but incredibly motivating final thought. I know exactly what I'm cleaning this weekend. And speaking of deep cleaning your home, don't forget to visit Kindeck Carpet Cleaning on Google to tackle those floors.
Exactly. The entire environment matters.
It really does. Thank you for listening to the Best Way to Wash Your Pillows podcast.